Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Reasonably Effective Podcast. I'm 10 Types, as I was joined by Uncommon Fossil.
Howdy, and glad to be here today.
Yep, I'm also glad to be here, although I am unfortunately a little under the weather, so hopefully my voice sounds okay. If not, that's probably why. So sorry about that, everyone, but it's not too bad. And I'm not doing too badly either. And I'm excited to be talking about the new expansion. I guess there's a lot of new expansions going on right now, but this is the expansion
Yes.
Chaos Rising. This is not the full expansion. This is just part of it, from what we've seen so far, which is actually a pretty good amount of cards to go into in today's video. It's like I'd say just the right amount. And Chaos Rising is coming out in on May 22nd.
Yep.
It's coming out in Japan as the expansion Ninja Spinner. Oh, sorry thing. Yeah, on March 13th. So it's coming out relatively soon. Actually, yeah, quite soon. And it's around the same time that Perfect Order is coming out internationally, I think. And
Yeah.
speaking of new sets, we also saw the new expansion, or the like celebration expansion revealed for Pokemon Day. We saw that revealed this year. Obviously not coming out on Pokemon Day. But yeah, that was revealed. I don't know, Uncommon Fossil, if you were really paying attention to that or not.
I didn't really pay attention. So if there's we can talk about that another time if there's anything pertinent.
Yeah. But anyways, we're going through Chaos Rising here today. And as I said, this set is coming out soon, with, or not with rotation, but post rotation. Rotation will
Yep.
have already happened by the time this comes out. And yeah, let's just hop right into the first card here, I think, which is Beedrill EX. Beedrill EX, I'll read it here. It's a stage 2 Grass EX, and it's got 310 HP, and it has 1 attack here. Also does have 1 retreat, not free, which sometimes Beedrill has, but that's fine. And for 1 Grass, it does 110 for each Beedrill you have in play, including Beedrill EX. Normally including Beedrill EX wouldn't. It's kind of weird that's in parentheses, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, this can do potentially big damage for 1. But what are your thoughts of this card?
Yeah. I mean it. One question is there going to be a single prize Beedrill? Because I think there is a single prize Beedrill format now, but that's rotating.
Yeah,
So if there's a single prize attacker that has value as well, then that's a plus for this deck. It's a stage 2. There's a bunch of stage 2. Stage 2s generally have a tough time, but obviously Dragapult EX is stage 2, and it does just fine as stage 2. So it's not a knockout. But look, you get 4 Beedrill EXs in play. You're doing 440 damage, and that's really good. But even which you're not going to do well very often, but you get 3 in play at 330. It's a lot easier if there is a single prize Beedrill in format, I will say. And we do have Forest of Vitality, so we can get these evolved immediately once the game's past turn 1, right? And a rare candy works with Forest of Vitality as well, correct?
no, Rare Candy does not. Because not because of what it says in Force Vitality, but because of what it says on Rare Candy, which
Ah,
is you can't use this card on during the first turn or on a basically you put into play this turn, which is not in parentheses. That is like another rule on Rare Candy. But yeah, the Rare Candy, or I mean, you could Rare Candy, you could Force Vitality, presumably. I guess Force Vitality. I mean, it's like kind of good. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of clunky, just like Rare Candy, right?
well,
But
it is.
yeah,
But if you're going to play Beedrill, I think you're playing for Forest of Vitality, right? I don't imagine you wouldn't have it in your deck.
yeah, presumably. But this doesn't synergize with the current, like grass package of
No.
like the energy stuff, because it's just 1
Right.
energy here, which is actually what makes it good. It's pretty efficient. Um, I will say, I mean, even if you did have a single prize in Beedrill, it would be easier to search, which is good, and then obviously getting that into play
Yep.
is good. That being said, like you can still, I mean, you're not getting more than 4 Beedrills in play. That's not really possible. And so, it's definitely like okay not having a single prizer. Um, or I don't know, like if it was just some random single prizer, I don't think it would be a huge deal. You mentioned being another like attack option that's good, that would be good. And Beedrill has historically
Yeah.
had some very good cards, including some cards that have cheated themselves out into play. The Beedrill
Right.
Elusive Master, letting you put it onto your bench if you have no cards in hand and then draw 3, which is one of my all-time favorite cards. Not because it's good, because it's not. I had a deck with it called Bad Drill, so that kind of tells you how good it is. But ultimately, we have seen Beedrills like that, and I think if we do see something like this, then the Beedrill could be legitimately good. But how good do you think it is? Because we are doing this
Yeah.
on tier list. I guess if you're not physically watching, it's like S through F, normal tier list stuff.
Right, and usually we don't have F, but for this one, some of them we may. I don't know if we'll get there or not with F, but it could be. I will just say for expanded though, because you had like the other Beedrill that can go right into play. Plus, you have the stage one darkness Pokemon that can change type, right? That could become another
Yeah.
stage one. I'm blanking on it, but you know what
Yeah,
I mean,
Zoroark,
right?
yeah. I can't evolve
Zor
instantly, so it feels a little slow for expanded, but it could be cool.
Correct, but then you can have 5 or 6 Beedrills, right? I'm just saying,
Yeah, I don't think you need
which
five or
is
six speed drill.
no, but if you want to have some fun. But for
Yeah.
standard, right now, and assuming there's and without a good B drill, it's at maybe C tier. It's not above C tier, right?
Yeah, no,
I
I think
mean,
I think C tier's fine. Um,
and it might even be D tier. I mean, it's kind of a fun deck to play in terms of its viability. It might not even be C tier,
yeah,
right?
yeah, I think it's kind of okay. I mean, like legitimately, even if you have like we're talking about it as a one-shotting Pokemon, but if you just start swinging for like 110, then 220, you are taking a two shot, and it is just one energy. So it's like it's not bad
Yeah.
stats. Um, you need like some support, but you don't need to be going like you don't need to like if you miss a little, it's not the end of the world.
Yep.
It includes itself, right? I was like, yeah, okay, it does. So I don't, it's like okay. I don't expect it to see competitive play, but it's an okay card. It's not a bad card.
Yeah,
Not
and
good.
obviously,
Not great.
yeah. So C tier, I think that's a fair thing. And obviously, if another B drill comes out, then that could give it a nice bump there.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so we're going to go on to the next grass Pokemon then.
Yep. Sounds good.
Okay, which is Chestnut, a stage 2, 180 HP, single prize Pokemon. For 3 energies, it does grass, colorless, it does 160. And then during your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. Retreat cost of the Chestnut is 4 energy, so that's pretty rough there. The attack is okay. It's not great, but then it has this ability if this Pokemon's the active spot and it's damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, and it's not an effective attack, so it doesn't matter if they switch Pokemon there. You place 3 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon for each grass energy attached to this Pokemon, so it needs at least 3 to attack. And we have Meganium and with Force Vitality to help it evolve. The more common grass things in format now, so it makes it interesting. And we do have the Teal Mask Ogerpon to potentially put in it, so it's an interesting Pokemon.
Yeah. Yeah. The attack is, as you're saying, not very good. The ability is okay. I mean, it requires a lot of commitment, and it's just gonna get
Yeah.
knocked out. Um, I don't know. It feels like I mean, it's not like the worst card around, but it's not that good either. I mean, honestly, if it's working, it's all right, but it's a lot to get working.
Yeah, I mean, here's the pieces I have to see to make the deck work, and I think it's a fun one to try. So it's high in the fun factor. But you have your Chestnut, you have Meganium because you need to double these energies, both to pay for the attack. Plus, you want to get big damage happen to your opponent. I'm probably playing the TMS Ogerpon. I'm playing Energy Switch, which I'm pretty sure is not rotating. Yeah, that's a lot of pieces, right? To all happen, I will
Yeah,
say.
and do like repeatedly because you're getting knocked out. If you do that, you're doing
Yeah.
like 280 like in total, which isn't that much. So I mean, it's like okay, but it's a
Well,
lot there, a lot of pieces.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're hoping to get like a whole bunch of energies and have them doubled so that therefore they're getting knocked out when they hit into you, right?
Yeah, and I guess like realistically, if your opponent's not knocking this out, it is pretty good. Um, but they're going to be knocking it out, right? Like it's not that dang. It's at 180 because like if they're not knocking it out, then you're getting more energies on. They're taking or potentially getting more energies on and just saving them for somewhere else. You can also be doing more damage with the attack and the ability. Them not knocking it out by hitting into it, right? If they like just gust around it, then it doesn't really do anything because then you're just using impound the attack here, which isn't very good. The not retreating thing like doesn't really matter that much. I mean, it could do something, but pretty
Right.
meh. So yeah, ultimately I think Chestnut is D tier probably.
Yeah. It's D tier. It's a fun D tier though, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a fun card to make a deck with that's not going to be very good. If we had Luxurious Cape stick around, it would be slightly better. Although it still might be D tier. You might just survive a hit, which actually would you know. But yeah, it's not all that good. And for both these Pokemon, the pre-evolutions aren't bringing anything too special to it. We'll talk about the pre-evolutions when they are relevant, but we're not. None of the pre-evolutions are on the tier list itself.
Yeah, there are actually a handful of interesting those here. But then I'll go to the next Pokemon here, which is Delphox. Delphox has it's a stage 2 here with 160 HP. And it's got the ability Flare Magic. Once during your turn, you may discard a basic fire from your hand in order to use this ability. Draw till you have 7 in hand. Energy Storm for 2 fire does 30 free energy attached to all Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponents. Um, I don't think this is very good, right? Like the ability is it's kind of like Revavroom. I'd say
Yeah.
it's like a bunch worse than Revavroom because it's on stage 2 and it is also type specific. And Revavroom's ability like isn't that good. And then the attack is like I mean, it's like okay, I guess, but it's not that good, right? It doesn't really do anything special.
Here's the problem. One of the problems with this and with some of the other ones. Well, first off, discarding a fire energy, drawing sevens is pretty good. If you could you use this as an engine for Ceruledge EX? You're a big proponent of Ceruledge EX.
Yeah,
I'm not as high in as you. So you'll need to get those energies. The discard pile draw it gives you an engine with it. It's a stage two. It's a stage two engine is rough. I think you can have a stage two attacker if it's good enough, but a stage two engine, I'm not sure when there had been stage two engines. Obviously, there's like the Intellion engine, but that was good. First off, its ability was insane, but also there was the stage one that was also an engine piece. So stage two
yeah.
engines.
This one Pidgeot EX. Pidgeot EX is very good.
Oh, that's true.
Um, that one is in stage decks generally, or decks that like sometimes have like other support. It is a good card, right? But it's not
Yeah,
necessarily everything for the deck. Um, yeah, I mean it
right.
is good though.
Okay, so in terms of engine, maybe a Ceruledge deck, but you know having a stage two engine with it gets dicey. Also, these discard energies like Greninja, Radiant Greninja was good, and because it was a basic, it was first a basic Pokemon, but also any energy. This is a type specific energy. So you're even if you have it set up, you're going to fail on the engine because you're not going to have the basic fire energy to start with. So that's a downside to it. Also, if you want to attack with it, the fact that there's two fires tough because I can't use Crispin to power it up. So how do I power it up? Assuming I have to power it fully up in one turn, which I assume I'm going to have to. So that's dicey. If you want to go with this deck as an attacking option, I guess you'd go with an Ethan's Ho-Oh EX, and then you can get a bunch of energies in play, and you could have that's if you wanted to make a Delphox deck. I'm thinking it's in the Ethan's Ho-Oh is how I'm going to make it happen, but you'd probably be better just going with an Ethan's deck of some type instead.
Yeah, which isn't even that good. Um, yeah, I think like the ability, like even look at it in Cherilage runs a lot of non-fire energy, um, and doesn't draw that much. You run like you can compare this to Luton, which Cherilage does run. Luton's very good. Again, that's a basic. It's more awkward
Yeah.
than Radiant Greninja, but it's still very good. Um, but I think the best comparison is Reverum for this card, which isn't a super good card. It's okay, I guess. The reason some of these draw cards are bad is because when you need them, like when you're in a bad situation, you might not have the energy. But again, it's still a stage 2 as
Yeah.
well, so there's a lot to get set up. I will say there's less hand disruption, post rotation. I mean, we're losing Iona. That's the big thing. But
Right.
yeah, I'd say this card's here. I mean, we've been like kind of bashing it, but it's something.
Y-
But it's not very good.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be tough even to have a kind of a fun meme deck with it. So I'm going to put it bottom of D tier. You think is that you agree with
Yeah,
that?
I'm good with that. I don't think there's too much of a difference
No.
here. But yeah, then you want to talk about Mega Greninja EX here.
Yeah, Mega Greninja EX. So this is what a stronger card. Stage two. It's a Mega. So three prizes, 350 HP, weak to lightning. Retreat cost to one. It's got a Ninja Spinner. It does 120 damage for two waters. And you can put up to two. You can put a water energy attached to this Pokemon into your hand to do 80 more. So you're doing 220. Which isn't bad. Assuming you're getting knocked out, putting the energy in hand is actually probably good. Although you don't want to be getting knocked out on a stage two mega, but it'll happen. But it's got the ability, which is the best part, probably Mortal Shuriken. Once during a turn, if it's in the active spot, has to be active spot. Retreat cost is one. You can discard a basic energy card from your hand to use this ability. Play 6 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. The ability is good because, in one way we know that is, in expanded format, Rapid Strike, what Metacham V got banned, probably because of this card coming out.
I
So
don't think
therefore they,
so. Like,
okay,
what
well,
else talk
I
about
mean
in the second?
the timing obviously fits up with it, right? So I
It
don't,
does,
I
but
we both didn't think that this ability is so good that it necessitated that ban, but the attack is okay. Once again, you have to get two water energies on it of the same type. how are you going to do that? Hopefully you have some setup turns, right? I think for all these two types of one energy, you have to have setup turns with something else. So how's that going to go? I'm not certain. But and obviously back in the days, like with the V Pokemon, where we had the supporter that accelerated water from the discard and drew three, which I'm blanking the name on now.
Oh
Um,
yeah, Melanie. Yeah.
Melanie, yep, which I enjoyed playing. Like a card like that with this Pokemon with the attack would be really good because you could power it up one turn. So is the attacking option. I don't love it, especially it's three prizes. Spreading damage is good. Is it, what decks are going to want it? I guess is the question. It's a stage two, so when and where, I'm not completely certain where this card is going to fit in.
Yeah. So I actually have a bunch of things to say about this card. It actually aren't even like related to what like evaluating it here. Some other things to say first. One, this is like a
Okay.
callback to Greninja Break. It's like the same thing, kind of. I mean, it's not exactly the same thing because it's not a Pokemon Break, but it has the same ability as Greninja Break, and then it has the same attack as one of the attacks on Greninja Break, or not the same, but like a similar attack. So that's like cool.
Yeah.
Greninja Break was very good. But at like a very different era, the Pokemon TCG, and these cards are kind of similar, but I think the comparisons, well, they are initially very similar. I think in terms of how they're going to play and like all the stuff around it, it's pretty different there. But then it also is called, if you know this, it's called Ninja Spinner, the attack name, which is the name of the set, right? So this is the main Pokemon in Japan. The
Yeah.
the attack, the main Pokemon is the name of the set. So we got like Ninja Spinner, um, Mega Brave, Mega Symphonia, things like that. Anyway, so that's a cool thing. And relating to the Medicham V thing, I don't know, like, and there's a lot of speculation. This is the reason that Medicham V would be banned. Um, I don't know. I mean, like, in terms of like an expanded, I actually talked a shocking amount about expanded for the fact that it doesn't really matter, but um, with the ability, you get some damage counters on some Pokemon. There are ways to get damage counters on Pokemon in expanded. Um,
Yeah.
like Dusclops, which does, I mean, they're different, but like I would say Dusclops is better than this in expanded for like going kind of turbo-y. And then like in expanded, regular stage twos aren't that good. I was gonna say stage twos aren't that good. And then I realized that like every deck in expanded plays a stage two. Maybe not every deck, but like most expanded decks play stage twos, but they like do weird stuff, right? Like they're running Archeops and they like cheat it out. Um, or I mean, I don't know. I can't think of any expanded decks that run rare candy. There are ones that run. I guess the closest thing would
Okay.
be like double TM Evo. I'm pretty sure that's like still good. And then obviously there's like Dragapult EX within Regidrago, but that's like not really a stage two. It's like a stage one. So
Yeah.
anyways, like I don't know. I feel like that. I mean, and you were kind of saying that it like doesn't seem that strong. To be banned, right? To be banned, it needs to be like completely broken.
Right, and there is a lot of ways to get damage and expanded there. So, I mean, it would have more value in expanded, although that's not what we're talking about here. And even we can get damage counters spread around in standard, and we have other things that are going to do that too. So, the ability is nice. I don't know that it's going to be huge personally, even in standard. And I think the attack doing what 200 damage isn't it's certainly underwhelming, right? On a stage two, three prize doing 200 damage when you attack.
Yeah, I think the ability is interesting. Because it can. I mean, it does like quite a bit of damage here on
Yeah,
an ability, right? Like this is a lot of damage on ability, and then you can pair this. You can like use multiple Mortal Shurikens each turn theoretically if you
right.
get switches. And there is Surfing Beach. Surfing Beach is a card that Surfing Beach it's seeing play, or no, it's seeing post rotation play, um, or was, but that's kind of fallen off. But it's the Mega Star Mega Frostlass with a bunch of water Pokemon. It's pretty good. Just a switch every turn, but then every switch you get is an extra 60. I mean, you do need the water, but it's not like that hard to get,
Right.
I wouldn't say. Um, so ultimately, I do like this ability quite a bit. Being able to like get damage counters on your opponent's side of the board. It is kind of vulnerable. I mean, it's not like horrendously vulnerable, though it is low HP for a stage two Mega. Um,
Yeah.
but it's ultimately a Pokemon that is, I think it's gonna get one shotted that much, and the weakness I don't think matters. Ultimately, it's a card that I don't think you're looking to attack with it, but the ability is kind of cool.
Yeah. I guess are there other ninjas that we're going to want to pair this with? Is that out
Um,
there too as an option?
no, I don't. There's not even an interest standard, right? Uh, oh yeah, there is. What am I talking about? Yeah, yeah. There's three EXs. Yeah. What?
Yeah.
I don't know how I always forget about the fighting EX. But yeah, no, the one that is 170 or just like spread. Yeah, that's all right. Um, how did I
Yeah.
forget
Yeah.
that
The
there was
fight.
three? Um,
Right. There's three. So the fighting one is fun. It does 170 search for a card. So obviously you can splash that in. And then there's two water EXs as well. So I, I, I don't know. You might splash in something if you're going with Greninja as an attacking option, but I'm guessing you're playing this. If you're using the Greninja, the Mega as just to do spread damage and not to attack with generally, it has to be a deck that has a bunch of water energy, right? So it
yeah.
limits the options.
Yeah, and then he's like stage twos. Like I guess with Greninja EX, it actually is pretty interesting there. Oh, the one is rotating, but it doesn't really not the good one. So yeah, the fighting one is cool. Fighting weakness is good. I'm trying to think about the post-station meta. I mean, it's like a probably presumably a better weakness than water. Um, but yeah, I mean, honestly, yeah, Shinobi Blade for one water doing 170, searching for something, helping you set up as well is really nice when you're like the more Pokemon you get into play, the better. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so or like the more Mega Greninjas, the better. One awkward part about that, Greninja EX itself isn't actually water, so you can't use Surfing Beach with it. The fighting one. But yeah, you could
Right.
definitely do some pretty nasty spread stuff there. So definitely, I think an interesting idea. Where do you rank this? Because I think this is one of the better Pokemon from the set. Of the
Yeah.
three Kalos starters, it is the best. I mean the other two are in D, so presumably it should be better than those. But where do you put this?
Yeah. It's either a B tier or an A tier card, right?
Yeah, I kind of want to put an A. Well, like, but I don't think I should. Like, I don't think it actually is an A tier card. I think, okay, to be honest, we didn't say this yet, but these cards are kind of bad. So I mean, they're not all bad, but there's a lot of bad cards. But I think I don't think we should like give it the benefit of the doubt. Like, I'd say A tier is like you're expecting. I don't know what's an A tier card in standard. Like I'd say Mario's Grimmsnarl EX is probably an A tier Pokemon. Um,
Yeah.
it's not more than that. Certainly, it might not even be A tier. And like this is not as good as that, right?
No, I don't. I don't think it is. I mean, obviously, we'll find out what they can do. I think it's a B tier. I would love to be wrong and
Yeah.
find out that it's better than that personally, because it's a fun type of card to have. But I right now I don't see it. So I
Yeah.
think
Oh,
let's put it in
one
B tier.
other thing, it's actually kind of similar
Yeah.
to Dragapult, because it does like 60 and then 200, and you can even play it with Dragapult. Realistically, I was thinking about that, and I was like, I guess you can attack. You can use Neo Upper, like return it to your hand, which is cool. Obviously, you're not running water, so that's like
Right.
really
That's
awkward. Um,
right. I mean, that's the problem. Now you have to have another type of energy besides these other Pokemon, and you probably just make your Dragapult deck worse because of that.
yeah,
Um, and the other thing is like you have to it only does as much damage on the attack as Dragapult. So or to equal the damage between the ability and the attack, it's a lot more work than Dragapult, which is why it's like way worse than Dragapult, right? Just
yeah,
in that sense. But Dragapult's S tier, right?
yeah.
Anyway.
But then
Um,
we got where do
well,
you
let's talk
actually?
about the. We should talk about bug catching set then, right? Big catch net. Sorry,
Okay,
I
yeah.
take that. I got that completely wrong. I was the wrong type, but because it's with water Pokemon. This is the only water Pokemon we're doing, right?
There's another one, but
Oh,
that was
you want to
fine.
do the other water Pokemon first then?
Sure. Yeah, let's do that. I'll just read it quickly here. This is in the set. This is part of this is feeling like Chinese for the Chinese version of the set. But anyways, this is presumably in the set. We got penetrate for one water, 20, then 20 snipe. It's got 110 HP as well. Then reflect energy. Two water does 70 move energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. It's not very good. To be honest, I guess it's probably D tier. Like it's not really interesting. But in terms
Yeah.
of power level, it probably is actually better than the stage twos because like it's not high commitment, but it's not very good.
No, I mean if it was 70 for one, then that would be better, but it's not and it you know, it's not complete trash, but I can't imagine it's playing. So what it's top of D tier, I guess.
I get.
Not
I
that
don't know.
we're
I mean, I'd put it
would
below the other
or
two.
bottom.
I mean, I
That's
wouldn't
fine.
ever play this card, and I don't think anyone really would. But in terms of, I'd say
No.
it probably is. I don't know. I'll just put it. It's not good.
E-
Yeah.
Okay, no, yeah, it's bottom of D tier. Yeah, I don't see a use case for it myself. So like, um, Obviously, let us know in the comments if you think we miss on something. But I can't imagine there's gonna be a lot of cries that this is a good card.
Yeah. But then was it Big Catch Snap, which is just like such a weird name. But
Yeah,
yeah. Oh wait, that's actually like kind of really close to Bug Catching Set. In terms of
it's
the
got the same it's got the same rhythm, which is why I and it's a similar concept. I mean that gets from the deck. So big catch set. When Water's had some good items with it in the past, so you shuffle up to 3 water Pokemon and or 3 basic water energies for the discard pile into your deck. So that's really good, right? For water decks, you're playing this card, right? I got to imagine most of the
um
time.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like a better Super Rod. Um,
And
I
we're
don't know
losing
how.
that, right?
Yeah, we are losing Super Rod as well, right? So if you like wanted to be playing Super Rod, then you're playing this instead. Um, Super Rod's not like an amazing. I mean, it's a pretty good card. Um, yeah, I mean, realistically, this card's quite good. I wouldn't put in S tier, but I'd put in A tier.
No, I mean, because Super Rod was in a lot of decks, right? It wasn't in every deck, but
Yeah,
it was in
I
more
mean, it
decks
was in a lot of
than
decks,
not.
and then Night Search came out, and now it's been in a lot less. So that's the only reason I'm like a little lower on this card. Also
Right.
getting back like a bunch of Pokemon and a bunch of energies. Like I can't actually think of a deck that wants this. That's like even the Mega Greninja deck. Um, I don't think like I guess it plays this, but it's not like realistically you need the cards in your hand, right? So you need to like find
Right.
them, but it's just still like nice, and you are losing a bunch of energies throughout the course of the games. It's a good card.
Yeah, it's a good card. So what is it? A tier then you think?
Yeah, I'd put it in A tier. I'd say it's
Okay.
no, I'd be surprised. I'd be shocked if it doesn't see play, assuming that water is fine at some point
Right.
during when it's in standard, which is like a while. So yeah, I'd say A tier.
Right. I mean, right now I don't see a deck that's gonna need it, but I could be wrong. There's not a ton of water decks out there. So, but
Yeah, I mean, there's like this Mega Frostus deck, which I'm not exactly sure how good that is, but um, that like I don't even know if that would play it right.
yeah, it might not.
But it's like it's still an okay card there. It just gets back a ton of cards, which is nice. Then we got I
Yep.
guess the special energy here, which is Bubble Water Energy. This is a special energy. All of the special energies. There's 2 we've seen from this set so far. There's probably gonna be a third one. Um, But anyways, as long as it's attached to a Pokemon, it provides a water energy. But then if it's attached to a water Pokemon, it recovers from and is immune to special conditions. Um, where do you put this? I don't know. I mean, there's not that much analysis, but I don't know how good.
No, I mean, obviously, it being a special energy is a negative, right? Because we can't generally get it, and you can't accelerate it, and I don't think it's all that relevant, right? It only helps with water Pokemon, and recovering from special conditions isn't the biggest thing, right? If people are attacking you with Monkey Dory, something like that, then it's good, right? So you're not confused, I think, is what
Yeah,
happens to you. And there's a few cases, but generally, it's not very meaningful, right? It's not a bad card. I just don't think it's useful. So I
yeah,
might it's either C or D. It's not a bad card, so I'm thinking maybe it's like bottom of C tier.
yeah. I'd honestly put it above Beedrill EX. Like I could see
Okay.
it seeing play. I don't think the downside of special energies that maybe it is with like Night Stretcher. I'm a bit lower on Crispin than other people in post rotation. Um, but yeah, I guess yeah, bottom of C is fine. It's like it's not very good, but it's not very bad either. It's like, the
Yeah.
downside isn't that low.
Yeah, and I don't care if it's bottom or top of C tier, but I also don't think it matters
Yeah.
enough to worry about it.
Yeah. I will say I could see it seeing play. I think that's more likely to see play than Beedrill EX in terms of like high level competitive
Yes.
play. Like if Beedrill EX wins the World Championships, I'd be shocked. I mean, I don't expect Bubble Water Energy to win, but it's you never know. If there's a good water deck, it could see play.
Well, look, I'm going to put it top of C because probably in the lifetime it's out, there's going to be at least one top 10 deck that will play this energy in it, right? Which there probably is not going to be a top 10 deck with Beedrill,
Yeah.
right? So anyway, it's not a great card, but it's there, right? So we'll go back to the Pokemon, I guess, to
Yeah.
talk what Mega Floetta EX then.
Let's actually talk
Or
Mega Ampro or no, not Mega. Let's talk about Ampharos. That's like going to be next in the set order.
okay,
Which is a stage 2 again, also revealed in Chinese. I'm not sure why it was revealed there first, but anyways, it's obviously a stage 2 here, and it has the ability synchronized pulse. If you have the same number of cards in your hand as your opponent, you do 80 more with this Pokemon to your opponent's active, and then you do 140 for 2 lightning colors, and then can attack next turn. I always like attacking or like things like this where you want the same
Yeah.
amount of cards in your opponent's hand. They're not super good. I mean, I don't know. It's like they can be good, but usually like I don't know. I mean, like if you have the same amount of cards in your opponent's hand, it's like okay. If you don't, it's bad. It's not like it goes from okay to good. It goes from bad to okay. So it's not very good here. Probably D tier.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, if it had this attack, it just did the extra damage all the time. It still wouldn't be a great card. I think it's fair to say. Um, and it can't use that attack next turn. I assume you're getting knocked out, and again, this is one that suffers from the loss of Crispin because, or no, we could keep Crispin, right?
Yeah, we keep Kristen, but it's
So
still
this one
clunky.
you can power it up with Crispin though, as long as you have a second type of energy. Because I'm always concerned about that because I assume it's getting knocked out. So I've got to get two energies attached the next turn. Is what I'd say. This would be better maybe with a tool like a TM. We're losing the TMs, but is it because the ability well always kicks in, right?
Um.
It's not like if you had a tool, it would still
Oh yeah,
boost
yeah. Like a
80.
damage. Yeah. There's only like
Yeah.
one or two damage teams, so they're pretty rare.
No, I know.
Um.
You need some other tool that doesn't really exist and that is unlikely to exist. So it's not really good.
Yeah, I will say if we had the Flaffy that accelerate energy, the same as the electric we have in standard, then this could be like pretty playable, but we don't.
Yeah. Right, right. So, but it's better obviously than the Keldeo, I would say. Um, but is it D tier? I mean, it's
Yeah,
not
it's
above
definitely
C
a D
tier.
tier. Um, yeah, I guess right over the Keldeo. I mean, it's not very good. I don't even know if
No,
it's better than the Keldeo, to be honest, but it doesn't really
there's a
matter.
stage two. It's probably worse. All right, I'll put it at the bottom of D tier.
But then you
Um,
want to talk about the Mega Flow EX.
yeah, so we got a basic Mega Pokemon, three prizes, of course, on a basic. So 250 HP. Retreat cost of one here. Two attacks. One is Gentle Light for one energy. You heal 30 from each Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. I assume now is it really each active Pokemon? Because otherwise it doesn't say every Pokemon, right? So it's just the actives.
No, it's each. I
Each
mean,
Pokemon in play.
yeah.
Okay, all active and bench. So that's where it gets interesting. The second attack, three psychic energy, does 200. You search your deck for four basic psychic energy and attach them to your bench Pokemon any way you like. The energy acceleration is very nice, right? You search your deck, it does 200, but you have to get three energies on it in the first place. So it's kind of like, how am I making this happen? If I wanted to use the second attack, am I using this like with Mega Gardevoir EX because I'm losing the good, Gardevoir EX to power it up, but I still have to get three on in the first place, and it's
There's
all
like
kind
one
of
burst patch. Um, which is
yeah.
easier than Mega Gardevoir, but like
Or
it's
I'm
like
using
only
this to power up, so my Mega Gardevoir is better, also,
oh
right?
yeah.
I'm
Um,
just saying if I was playing Mega Gardevoir, this is a basic. I might put that in this in a Mega Gardevoir deck. Um, but I don't love the second attack myself. Maybe you do. I think the first attack is the interesting one, and then we do have the stadium that goes with it as well. But do you want to talk about the second attack first?
um, yeah. I mean, honestly, well, I mean, I don't really like the style of attacks, right? I like them less than you do. I think energy
Yeah,
acceleration attacks is like I think setup attacks. If you're using like when you're trying to use your regular attack, it's bad, right? Like
yeah,
you can set up turn one, you can set up maybe turn two or whatever. But then once you're going, you're going. And then I mean, yeah, this is as a little boost is like fine. It can allow you to like chain Mega Flora EXs once because
right.
after you're knocked out, then you lose twice. Or if you're knocked out twice, you lose. I suppose technically you could Legacy Energy, but like Mega Flora EX here is we need to talk about the stadium or stadiums, but yeah, it's like it's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like if it was two energy attack, all of a sudden it might start to get too good, right? So
yeah, it'd be pretty good. I mean, just efficient damage, but it's not.
right, it's not. So I think in that sense they're good. But so I think to me, the interesting use case is with the first attack, right? Where I'm just healing
Um,
30
but that's not
every
very
turn.
much healing. I mean, theoretically, spreading it out is like it
Well,
is a lot, but you can't really spread it out. So, as far as I'm aware, right, you can't spread out the damage.
um, no, I agree. I mean, but it has the stadium, or it has two stadiums, I guess, really. So it's got this Hyper Rogue. Ange Floeta. I'm not sure how you pronounce it if you know better than I do.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what this is like a reference to something in the video game. Not sure what it is, but yeah.
So first off, each Mega Floeta EX gets 150 HP more, so it goes from 250 to 400. So 400 HP, and then you're healing 30 each turn. And I've been playing with a bunch of that. What's that ice cream cone thing? Healing
Vanillax?
lately.
Wait, what?
I've been playing
Oh,
Crustal
Jumbo
lately.
ice cream. Jumbo ice cream. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So there's healing stuff in the game. Is my point. So, you can slap all this junk in a deck. Although you need 3 energies attached. But anyway, we'll ignore that. But so also you get super tanky, and you're healing up a little bit. But because you're so tanky, the idea is you're just not getting knocked out. And I think it becomes a control style deck that you're just making your opponent suffer and torture. And just trying to use, I don't know what supporters are sticking around to get rid of cards from your opponent's hand. So that's one question. You can get to a second. But the other thing is to get this stadium in play, you can only play if Prism Tower is already in play. You can actually play Prism Tower down that turn and then play the Hyper Rogue Stadium as well. The Prism Tower lets you discard 2 cards from hand and draw 1. Not particularly good. I know, something like Ledge, maybe it's a way to get energies discard in the discard pile, something like that. But it's primarily here, I think, just as to make the Hyper Rogue Fluetta Stadium harder to play, which I don't know if it needed that because I don't know that it makes a busted deck, but I think that's the way the whole Mega Floetta package is, this super tanky thing, and I'm just healing every turn and just let the game go on forever.
Yeah, yeah. I guess if you're like you got a bunch, you're like switching between them, then you can like you're feeling it kind of like like 120 each turn. You can also Monkey Dory. Your opponent can't really send it back with their Monkey Dory, so that's like kind of cool. Not enough cool, but it's like kind of good. It's not that good, um, but it's the thing. But presumably you can just like gust one of the Mega Fluids, right? And then it gets knocked out. And if they do it twice, they win. So it seems kind of bad. Um, like in practicality, like it seems kind of funny, but kind of bad. And then just like looking at the stadium, what is the lore behind this? I've not played ZA, but anyways, yeah, Prism Tower, or I guess like the stadium, the Hyper Rogue Hang Floor or whatever. It's like it's just pretty decent, I think. Um, it's kind of hard to judge. Like we're ranking all the cards, so I don't know where I'll put that. And then Prism Tower, I think Prism Tower is actually okay. Discard 2, draw 1. It's not that good, but I don't know. I mean, it allows you to discard stuff, which can be good. You mentioned Stereo Ledge.
Right.
And then it draws some, right? It's okay. It's not that good, but I think it's an all right card.
Yeah, and it reduces your hand size, so before you use your uh the Delphox, right? You
Oh
thinned your
yeah,
hand, so it's
yeah,
beautiful there too. The synergy. I know you just bumped it up a tier because of that concept I came up with there. So
yeah,
um anyway, okay, so let's do Prism Tower first. It's the most straightforward of the cards, and I do agree it's the best card. It'll see some play, right? Not a ton of play.
yeah. I could see it
Um
in B tier. That's where I'd put it.
Okay, I think it's a bit high, but all right, I'll put bottom of B tier. But it's kind of a C B tier. It was at least C tier though, so it'll go in one or in some decks that are have some solid decks a little bit.
Yeah. And then what about the other stadium? I'd put that. I don't know. It's kind of hard
Well,
to judge.
well, let's rank the Pokemon first because it only works with that Pokemon, right? So, do you think there's any value from the first attack on the Mega Floeta EX, or you
Uh,
don't think there
I
is?
don't know. I see where you're going with the like the Heal Lupin, but I don't think it's really ever actually gonna work. So
Okay,
I don't know. I just think the card's pretty bad, honestly. Like I'd honestly put it in D tier. I'd put the stadium in C tier, which might be like kind of weird, but that's personally how I do it. You could say that that doesn't make sense, but
why is the stadium better than
well,
the
because what the
Pokemon?
stadium does, like giving a 150 extra HP, despite needing to jump through some hoops, is like good. Um,
Okay,
which is like what the stadium does is it gives 150 extra HP to this Pokemon, so I think that's good.
yes.
Obviously, it doesn't work without it, so you could say it's kind of weird that like I have it in that order, but it's kind of like the other example I'd give is like Dreepy isn't a good card, but only like Dragapult EX only works with Dreepy, right? But you wouldn't say Dreepy is better than Dragapult EX.
All right, all right. So you want to make it D tier then, the Pokemon?
That's what I do. I'd put it, I guess, at the top, and then
Okay.
maybe C tier.
Uh,
I could see it in C tier.
so it, What the Mega Fluetta and C
Yeah,
tier?
I could see that. Where do you want it? Where do you
No, I
put
think
these?
B tier. I think it's gonna be really tough. I think it's a fun thing to mess with, but it's gonna be so tough to make anything useful out of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
I
just
think you're gonna have better luck with Beedrill EX than this, personally.
um, yeah, probably actually. Yeah. One other thing I guess I will mention. I don't think this actually matters. Theoretically, it is interesting as you can play two stadiums in one turn. I don't think the effect of actually playing two stadiums in one turn like does anything, but it is something that's like kind of fun.
My cast form expanded deck just got that
Oh,
much better,
yeah, you
possibly.
can.
Although I probably don't use these, but
Oh, yeah, that's probably as bad, but it is funny.
yeah, I mean, if there's something that like cast form, if you don't know, it wants stadiums in the discard pile. Obviously, that's a thing too. But anyway, so and then so we were putting the stadium at C tier.
Yeah, I guess I'd just put it right above it, but in like the
Okay,
tier
yeah,
above it.
bottom is yeah, the one's top of B tier, the stadium's bottom of C tier. Fair enough.
Top of D. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Um,
Pokemon's top of D and stadium's yeah,
Yep. But then
bottom
we
of C.
got you want to talk about the Trevenant here, as well as I guess the previous evolution.
Yeah, so the Trevenant here. Sorry, I gotta drag it up here. So Trevenant, a stage one, 130 HP. Retreat cost is 3. Ouch there. But it's an interesting one. 2 attacks. Cursed Roots does 30 for 1. During your opponent's next turn, its energy can't be attached to your opponent's hand to the defending Pokemon. So that's an interesting little combo there. We have some tools that maybe can do to mess with things a little bit there. Gravity Gemstone or something. I don't know if we're doing that to gust something up, and especially if it had attack retreat cost of 2 or a multiple energy retreat power attack cost that they can't power up in one turn, we could cause some disruption there. Then Overflow Pain for 2 psychic does 60 plus 10 more for each damage counter on all your opponent's Pokemon. So that's on all of your Pokemon. Sorry. So and so it's designed then to go with oh no, that's on all your opponent's Pokemon. So I was thinking if the second attack, we're probably doing it like maybe with an Uxie deck, right? You got Uxie, and then you could put this in. I don't know if the problem is the stage 2 for 2 energies, but you get a bunch of damage counters spread around with some Uxies and this, and maybe we could do something there. And then the Phantom, the basic here, does 10 for 1. That's not nothing to want to do it all. But it has the ability Envious Evolution. Once during your turn, you can put a card from your hand that evolves from this Pokemon onto it to evolve it. And then you put 2 damage Pokemon on this Pokemon.
Damage
And
counters.
2 damage counter. Sorry, yeah, and you can't use it the your first turn. That's a big thing. There's a lot of evolution. We're getting a lot of evolution acceleration in game, which is nice. And then they all have the caveat that you can't do it the first turn of the game. So which I think is a fair thing. So and there are some things that want damage Pokemon in play. So I think that's where it probably the Trevenant benefits from that Phantom and its ability more than the Trevenant does as its own attacker. So anyway, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I think the Trevenant is. Oh, I guess I will quickly mention you can't use this with Hops Trevenant. Hops Trevenant is actually pretty good, but yeah, you can't use that. Um, I think the idea with Uxie is kind of fun. I like the style of attacks, but honestly, looking at Uxie, literally in the same set, you have the Azelf. Azelf does like the same thing. It does a little less
Yeah.
damage, it's 50 less, but there's also one color, or it's not. It's psychic color, so it has a color, so you could use like counter game, which I think is super good with it. Um, and on top of that, you also compare with the Mesprit, which is something I think worth mentioning. Ultimately, that's like cool, and that just works a little better than the Trevenant. Um, yeah, so I don't think it's super good. Unfortunately, I'd probably put it in. I could see it in like C tier probably.
In the Trevenant, which we're taking the Phantom into
Yeah,
consideration as well.
yeah, and then that
Um,
helps it out. It's not like absurdly good. We're gonna talk about some uses for the Phantom, like getting damage counters on it with the Gorgeist DX in a second.
yeah.
But I don't think it's like something huge. I'm trying to think if it has any synergy with anything else where you want damage counters on your own Pokemon. I guess there technically is. Wait, let me read this ability again. Wait, so it says what? Once your turn, you can put a card from your hand on the. You can essentially evolve it, and then you put 2 damage counters on it. It does say once during your turn, but you could use it more than once, realistically. So you could devolve it with a strange timepiece, and then re-evolve it. Get more damage counters on your board. Um, which is something you could do that with like Monkey Dory or something, but that's like not good. Um, So yeah, that is a thing that you can do, which is like funny.
It's a That's true. And if we want to go expanded, then we can do it, devolve it, and then you can use your supporter to switch it to another basic Pokemon. So
Yeah,
that wants it. But anyway, yeah, you're probably not using it more than once on a turn. And obviously, if there's another Trevenant that's good in format, then this Phantup gets a big boost too.
yeah. I'm
Um,
trying to think. Is there a Trevenant in front? Let me check actually.
yeah,
Um,
we've got one that's rotating. So that doesn't matter. That one has an ability might be better, but this Trevenant, it's a grass. They're
oh,
grass.
yeah,
It does 50 for 2, and you heal the
50.
same amount of you heal from it the amount of damage you did. So, but that's not and 130 for 3. So those aren't good stats.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. So yeah, ultimately, I'd say this card in. I'd just pop it. I'd personally pop it between the Floa and the Stadium. You could say that's weird separating them, but yeah, that's where I'd put it.
Okay.
It's just not very good, but it's not the worst card around either. And the
So
Phantom is
you
kind of interesting.
so you want to put it in what C
In
tier?
C, yeah, I'd put it in C.
So bottom of C, right?
Mhm.
Okay, that works.
Then we got Gorgeous DX here, which has Horror Rondo. I will quickly mention Rondo is an interesting name for the attack. This is something we saw with a handful of different Pokemon that kind of went together,
Yep.
kind of didn't with Lyrical Fairy EX. But anyways, this doesn't have anything to do with that, but I just noticed it. Potentially just a translation thing. But Horror Rondo, for one Psychic, this 30, 50 more for each of your bench Pokemon that have any damage counters on them. And then for 2 Psychic, you do 140, you discard a random card for your opponent's hand. You're also at 270 HP stage 1 EX. And you got 2 retreat there. And there's something interesting with the basic here, right? Yeah, no. So
No.
it's something, Horror Rondos, it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, we need more ways to get damage counters into play, which we don't, right? We're losing Dodrio.
We got the stadium, we got Risky Ruins.
We got the stadium. There was the Gengar, right? The stage 2. We hadn't had that for a bit, but right, but that you could go from the discard pile onto the bench and get damage. So cards like that would have made it a lot better, potentially. So well, you're doing what 5 times 250. You're doing 280 is still the cap. So, but 280 on a stage 1 for 1 energy, I do like that. So,
Yeah. Technically, you could do more with there as your under depths, I will say. You probably won't, but you could.
yeah. So, but you're not gonna. I think you're gonna struggle to get your bench filled up with damaged Pokemon, right? I think with the cards we have, so you're gonna be doing 180 or something. That's just not good enough. And then 140 and milling one random card isn't that good, right? So it's really it's an very underwhelming card, I would say.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at other cards like this. Let me see. There's oh no, yeah, there's not really any other. So yeah, I'd say. I mean, I think it's okay. Like, I'd say it's about like a little better than, or I'd say it's a little worse than the Beedrill. I mean, like not that good, right? A lot of these are kind of ending up in C tier as like these not very, honestly, not super interesting, not super powerful Pokemon. But I'd put this one in C tier below Beedrill.
Okay, that's fine. And the one thing is, if we get a good way to get damage onto your bench Pokemon,
But
it
Risky
it, it,
Ruins
it
is
would
pretty good though. I feel like.
um
I mean, it's not like I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe I'm underrating this with Risky Ruins to be honest. Actually, no, I'd put it at the top of C tier. I think.
Okay, with
Um,
risky, yeah. If we can, if you can get your bench filled up with damaged Pokemon, then that's certainly a very good thing.
okay, I'll just turn one, go second. Risky Ruins, Precious Trolley, Salvatore, 280, turn one, right? Do it all.
Is Salvatore sticking around, by the
Yeah,
way?
yeah, yeah, Salvatore. Wait, Salvatore's taking on, right?
I don't
Um,
know. I forget. I forget it exists because it's never.
yeah, no one ever plays it.
I
Yeah,
never
it's sticking
play it.
around.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a thing. I essentially never, I said, been hit by it. But yeah. Then we got Xerneas here, though. This is a pretty simple Pokemon, basic 130 HP Psychic. And it does 30 for 3 Psychic for each Psychic energy attached to all your Pokemon. I think this is pretty bad. Filler. Um, yeah. I mean, it's like not the worst card around, but I'd say it's about as good. I'd say it's a little better than Keldeo.
Yeah. I mean, if there was if Gardevoir EX was sticking around, would it see play then?
No, I mean, we have cards like this.
Not. Um, if you're playing a Mega Gardevoir deck, do you probably put a copy of Xerneas in your deck though, right?
I mean, I don't think anyone's playing Mega Gardevoir anyways.
Well,
But
but that's the use case for this card, though, right? And
well,
correct?
Mega Gardevoir accelerates to but it doesn't actually power it up, right? It accelerates, yeah, to each of your Pokemon. So like you're not your Xerneas isn't powered up really, and then you're swinging with like moderate damage. Like it's not even that good there.
No, I'm playing a Mega Gardevoir deck, and I think I'm putting one copy in, right? Because if I get it going, then all of a sudden, then I could do nice big damage with it
Like you
later
can
in the
do
game.
okay damage. You could be swinging for maybe like 220 or like 210, I guess, something like that. Like that's like doable. That's not even that good.
Y-
Like that's like the
Yeah,
dream scenario.
um,
Um,
but look, that's the best case for this card. That's not it's not that good of a best case, and
yeah,
it's going to be very tough to do. And there's not a lot of Mega Gardevoir, like you said. So it's what, but it's I think it's a D. I don't think it's an F tier card.
I'd
Is my
put it.
point.
Yeah, I'd put it above
It's a
Keldeo.
D. Okay, I think that's fair. So,
Yeah.
yep.
Then you want to go over Cabal and EX here.
Yeah, so we got a basic EX Pokemon here, Cobalion EX 210 HP. Retreat cost of 2 here. It does 200 for 3 energies. Metal Colorless does, and it can't attack the next turn. So that is super underwhelming there, if not just bad for an attack, I would say.
Yeah, it's kind of
Um,
average, but like average and like the EX like don't see any play.
you're right. It does 200, which isn't really quite enough, and its HP is 210, which is also quite not enough, and it can't attack next turn. But it does have the Metal Rod ability. Once during your turn, when this Pokemon moves to the bench of the active spot, you may move any amount of metal energy from your Pokemon and play to this Pokemon. So you can play a Cobalion deck. We have a supporter, right, that we need to talk about with it. But also, you can play it with Latias, and then you just switch between these Cobalions that hopefully aren't getting knocked out because you need all these energies. You need 3 energies. You can't get 3 energies in play in one turn, really. So it's not great as a in and of itself.
Yeah. Yeah, the ability by the way is Metal Road, not Metal Rod, which is
Oh, thank you.
similar to one of your favorite Pokemon actually, Heatran GX with Burning Road, right?
Yeah,
Which you liked, but that was better
I did. Yeah,
because it had a better attack. Um, well, I don't know. Its
yeah.
regular attack was worse, but its GX attack
Yeah.
was potentially good. I don't know. I didn't really play it that much. I played it some, but
Well, there's welder and all that stuff, right? So you
yeah,
could do things which this doesn't have. Let's talk about the supporter here too, Philippe, which you can attach up to 2 basic metal energies from your discard pile to one of your metal Pokemon. So it can be to the active, and these are coming out together. I think the idea is it works with that, as well as we have the other supporter as well, right? That probably goes with this as well. But so you can power it up in one turn with the supporter with Philippe, and then you have Latias EX, so you can. Although if you don't, you can power it up, just slap it down and do 200 immediately with the supporter and attach it from hand. That's still not that great a situation though.
yeah. But yeah, I think Philippe is like decent. Um, I don't know. I don't really love energy acceleration supporters. As I said, I don't love. I mean, Crispin's like good. I get it's good, but as I said, I'm a little lower
Yeah,
on it than other people. And then like the Rose Encouragement. Um, just like energy acceleration supports in general, specifically ones that don't draw you cards. There's some that like draw you cards. Crispin like kind of draws you cards, right? That's what makes it nice.
yeah,
I mean, it gets cards into your hand, but there's some that actually draw you cards. And this doesn't do that. So you need them in the discard. I just don't think they're good partners for this. The best metal Pokemon is probably our Caledon EX, which like does this when you play it. So, um,
right. I don't see a great use case for this. I just yeah, I don't see a great use case for Philippe, and I think the Cabalion is certainly underwhelming. So talk about Cabalion first because that's what we got to finalize, and we'll come back to Philippe. It's just not very good Cabalion, right?
yeah, I don't know where I'd put it. Where do you put it? But it's not good.
I mean it's probably D tier. I don't think it's F tier though, right? It's not.
Yeah, it's probably above the Xerneas. Like it's not a horrendous card. It's not a good like theoretically. I mean, right, we have Iron Leaves EX, but that I guess switches in when you play it. So this is
Right.
kind of like that. It's just like finisher. It doesn't really work. It doesn't really do any of the things you're looking for it to do. But
No.
it like the
I,
idea
I
is like kind of okay.
I guess I could argue it's a C tier Pokemon because it's really middle of the road. It's like slightly worse than middle of the road across the board, right? So I guess D tier is where it fits, right? It's
Yeah,
meh, but the HP is not quite, the attack's
yeah. I
not
mean, I'd
quite.
put it right above Xerneas. Like it's not
I think yeah,
doesn't have any upside really. unless you got some weird switching thing. But yeah. And then Philippe, I'd put that in tier. I think it's okay. Not a bad card.
Yeah, I mean, it's a matter of does it have something to work with, which I don't know what that it would be right now. So, uh, so B tier, what like bottom of B tier?
Um, yeah,
Or you want to put it
I'd put it
higher?
above the stadium, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's probably
Stadium's
true.
not that good. The bar's not that high here, right?
That's true. Yeah, this will get used with something to some extent. I don't know how meaningfully, but people will certainly give it a try with things because it lets you try things out.
Yeah, and then we have Magnet Metal Energy as well. I actually forgot about this.
Oh
This
yeah,
card is actually quite good. It's a special energy again, like the other one. It's metal energy when attached to a Pokemon, any Pokemon. But then if it's attached to a metal Pokemon, it gives that Pokemon no retreat cost. So that's quite good.
right.
Like honestly, this is good. This is I don't know. Like I'm between A and S tier. Probably not S tier. I mean, in terms of actual practicality, like again, you're saying like metal doesn't really have good partners, but like I think the card is good. We've seen cards like this in the past. Was there one with the last special energy cycle? There's Hiding Darkness, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. Yep,
That was good. You played it more than I actually didn't like it, right? But
right. And
yeah.
right, because but we had like Eternatus, we had Darkness Pokemon that were good, right?
Yeah.
The question is, what do we have? Because I mean, it's printed with this set. The idea is it's going to go with Cobalion EX and Philippe, and you're going to accelerate with Philippe, and then you're going to attach the Magnet Metal Energy, attack for 200. You can't attack next turn, but you're not going to get knocked out magically somehow. Then you're going to retreat and set up your next Cobalion the next turn, right? That's the
Yeah.
design. But that's just a losing strategy.
Yeah. But I'd say this is A tier. I'd put this. I think this is the best card we've seen so far.
All
Um,
right, that's fair. It may be I don't necessarily like it as much as the water item, but again, that also has the same issue. It doesn't. I don't know what the use case of it is right now, right? And that's the same issue with the metal. The metal one, the support is very. I mean, this energy is very good. It just needs the right Pokemon, which I don't know is in the game right now.
yeah, and even like I guess it doesn't go in. I was gonna say like, oh yeah, it goes in like every metal deck, and I was like, well, what's the best metal deck in standard pure rotation at Skull which it doesn't go in. But I think it is
Right.
like a pretty good card. The more I think about it, but it
Well,
yeah, and
and if you're playing a basic deck, you're just gonna play Loud SEX instead, right?
I guess, but that can be a liability. I mean, we were talking about the water special energy. The upside is like fine. The upside's like definitely better here, and the downside is not that bad. Usually, it does depend
Yeah.
exactly. Like even with our Caledon, I think you would play this probably, but then you're not using you can't use it with the ability, but I think it's still okay. Like the upside is pretty decent here. And as I said, in general, the downside of special energies isn't too bad. That's why even like I think the psychic one in Dragapult is like worth running, in my opinion. But um, I'm definitely going to talk about Dragapult at some other point post rotation. So make sure you subscribe to Dumb as well. But yeah, I'd say it's good. It's um, yeah. Then we got the last card though, which is AZ's Tranquility. This one
Right.
says you switch your active when you're benched. So it's always a switch. And then if you moved a Pokemon EX to your bench, you heal 80 from it. Which I was thinking maybe this could work with the Mega Flora EX. You mentioned maybe it could work with the Cobalion EX as well. I don't know. None of those are super good though.
No.
But it's okay. Yes.
Well, here's the question. Because when I read the card, then I immediately thought was a big tag team fan.
Yeah.
The Malo and Lana, which was a very good card, right? And you
It
switched
was
your
like fine.
well, if you play tag team decks, it was great. Okay, trust me.
Yeah.
Um, but so that you switched your active to the bench, and then you discarded two if you wanted to heal 120. So it doesn't heal as much, but you don't have to discard cards, right? Obviously, healing
Yeah.
40 more would be I think you'd like to discard two to get 40 more, I would think. Um, but 80 is not bad. So what was I thinking with it? Let me see. I put down here. Obviously, I think it's for a mega deck. I think that's where it goes with, right? Because these are high HP Pokemon that aren't getting one shot. So the numbers are different. So you might now have to get three-shotting a mega, which that's quite nice there. And the other way to do it is everybody's favorite Pokemon Pikachu EX, right? That does 300 and can't get knocked out. It goes down to 10.
Yeah.
So if your opponent's pinging you, if they have like a spread damage thing, then now we can switch and get it healed up. That's what I'm thinking. That's a use case for it as well. I slap one copy on my Pikachu EX deck.
Yeah, well, but the issue is
You're
they
not
need to ping
sold.
you. Well, they need to ping you after, right? Because if they ping you before, they'd still just knock you
Yes.
out. Which seems like they could just do that. Or realistically, if they're just like a pinging deck, they're not even gonna go for the one shot, anyways. So it like doesn't matter. Not that this wouldn't be bad, like, or not this would be bad. Because extra healing is like nice, but I don't know. I mean, it's just not that much healing. I'm generally not a huge fan of switching supporters. I guess. I mean, I do like different options on the supporter, which is like kind of does the other switching supporters kind of do like Kieran,
Right.
Malama kind of does and things like that. But um, it's okay. I don't know. Where do you put this one in the tier list?
I don't. I again. I think this is one of the better cards, but again, the cards haven't been great.
Yeah,
So it's B tier. I
yeah,
don't think
yeah.
I could put it in A tier, but I think it's better than C tier.
Okay, yeah, I'd put it at the bottom, maybe a B tier. I don't know. I could see it a little higher than that if you want.
Let's put it below Philippe. I think it's probably better. I think this has a better chance of being used than the Stadium.
Okay. I could see that. I mean, I don't think either have super high upside. This one probably has higher upside. Though, yeah. Ultimately, I'd say the set, like, as you're saying, and as I was saying as well, that the set just doesn't have a super high, like, a ceiling. I mean, the cards aren't that good so far from what we've seen.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to special energies. I mean, because we're going to see presumably a special energy. I don't know. Do you think we're going to see 8, 9, or 10 types of special energy here? Because I assume we're going to get all the basic energy types, but then we might get colors, we might get dragon.
You think we're going to get all in this set, or it's going to be spread out over
I
the
think it'll
year, though?
be well. We're getting three in perfect order, so I think we're gonna get three in this set. That's just my guess. It might be three, three,
Okay.
three. Could be three, three, two, three, three, four. That's my prediction there. Yeah, I'm expecting one more. I would say psychic because we got psychic stuff, but we've already seen the psychic one, so we'll see
Okay.
what type that ends up being. But yeah,
Yeah, I'm assuming we'll get 9 types. I think we'll get the 8 types plus colorless. I'm
okay,
assuming we're not going to get a dragon type. That's my thought.
yeah. We got single dragon energy, which would actually be like fine. We could just I guess play it in Dragon Ball, and it's like luminous, but like a little different. Um,
Right.
But yeah, I guess it's worse because like you can't use Monkey Door, but I still think Monkey Door is kind of like mediocre. But anyways, um, yeah, ultimately, I don't know. What are your thoughts? Like, do you think there's stuff you're actually excited to try out? Like, I don't know.
Um, I mean, look, honestly, the Beedrill, which was at the start, I think is a fun one to give a try at. 110 multiplier for 1 energy. That's appealing. The Mega Greninja, maybe with the Greninja EX, I think that is worth a try. Um, and I might actually want to try the Delphox with the Ethans, but that's not going to go well. I can't imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, because the damage just isn't very good. Um, yeah. Ultimately, yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat, except for the last one. But I wouldn't mind trying out like now, honestly, maybe there's something interesting with Cabal on EX. Probably not, right? Let's be honest, but maybe.
Yeah,
And I mean, I like the stadiums are kind of cool. The one that lets you
yeah.
obviously just discard and draw. I like, there are some things that have like low hand side stuff. If they, I'd love if they reprint the elusive master Beedrill. That'd be like, that just make my day. But yeah, and then the other one, so you can play 2 in 1 turn, which seems really interesting. I always like weird interaction with the Pokemon TCG. That is
Yeah.
kind of weird. Is it good? Probably it doesn't do anything, right? But yeah. So ultimately, I'd say this set's kind of bad. Um, Think about the thumbnail, and I might make them all F tier. It should be funny. But yeah, I mean, I guess, and like realistically, there are like F tier cards in the set, which are the previous evolutions, and maybe some of the ones at the bottom as
Yeah.
well. But ultimately, I'm looking forward to seeing what we get from this set. It's not huge, I don't think. I do think Perfect Order is a nice set, but I'm a little disappointed from this so far. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We haven't seen them all. We probably most of those we haven't seen are going to be bulk cards, but they're probably going to be one or two interesting cards still to come. That'd be my guess.
Yeah, I'm hoping we got some good trainers. Scarlet and Violet Era with rotation, those cards rotating. There were some really good trainers, some like true staples. This set does not have any true staples, right? There's
No,
one card that works in most decks, which is the AZ's card, which isn't even like realistically working in most decks. And then like the
no.
other ones are like type specific. Some of the type specific ones are like decent, but yeah, I'd like to see a nice little like cool item or supporter. The big catch net or whatever is like kind of cool, but yeah.
Yeah, it's limited. I mean, Prism Tower is the only one that works in every type,
Oh yeah,
but
that also
generally
works.
generally you don't want to discard two to draw one though.
Yeah. Um, So ultimately, I am, interested in seeing what we get from the set. Maybe, tomorrow, but like as in tomorrow before releasing this, we get some like awesome reveals, and this will make us look like big dumb idiots. But ultimately, I hope we get some cool stuff from the set. But we'll see. But tell us down below in the comment section on YouTube what your thoughts are on the set, and anything you think we ranked wrong. And I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell on YouTube on our channels, 10 Types and Uncommon Fossil. That really helps support the channels, our channels here, and also you can listen to us on podcasting platforms as well if you want to. There you can, you can listen there. If you do want to leave a comment though, do leave it on YouTube because we unfortunately cannot see it on podcasting platforms. But we hope you enjoyed, and as always, we're excited to see you in the next episode.
Take care.